O, ciszej.
She came home.
Carlyle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be, without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Nie słychać głośniej? Czy ten? Tak samo.
Phineas Whitman, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Please wait. Mr. Whitmer is Madame Carlyle. Is that right?
Jakby się tu za niego przebrać? Słabo. Nie no, teraz powinno być głośniej.
Oh, by the way, I told Kate about the text.
What did she say?
Well, I thought she'd be mad.
I siup, nikt mnie nie widzi. Nie dam emotek, bo byś nimi spamił. A mi się nie chce tego robić.
She's a sensible woman, and that stuff from your ex was like manipulation 101.
I know. I guess I thought she'd been reading to them and see how Sam had done things to provoke her.
Shit, man. Caroline's really get a number on you.
O, miotła. Tak. To ktoś jest. Jest on i on, dobra. To włączmy tu odkurz. No podejdź, ziomuś, podejdź. Podszedł. Nie otłom cię.
Japonek. 1 złoty.
O kurde, ale...
UW.
UW, masz. Super, bogaty jestem, mam złotówkę. Dziękuję. Będę miał za co kupić chleb. Jedyny chłop może mnie tu rozpoznać, to ten chłop, ten dziadek. Co to jest? A.
A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlyle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor.
No.
If you take his
Nikt tego nie słyszał. I nikt nie widział. Teraz pytanie. A, tu jest szafa. No to i git, jestem teraz detektywem. Z miotką. Meet Alex.
Greetings, sir.
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution.
To się z nią spotkałem i co dalej? No,
Results
dobrze.
at discretion are my
Rozumiem.
speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madam Carlyle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've traveled from London. Would you care for some refreshments? Or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
Okay.
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me, sir.
Sir.
I feel obliged to point out that current affairs
No idź szybciej, ziomuś.
are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death.
Fajnie, fajnie.
You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madam's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madam Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Ja mam latarkę na okularach. Co to jest?
Before you
A może
inspect
kamera?
the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madam Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madam Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Okej, whisky. Okej. O. Ciekawe, ciekawe.
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived
Zachar body. Body.
plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47.
Jest tu coś jeszcze? O, książka. O kurde.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage.
Co to?
This could explain how the door was locked from the inside.
Ty, ja tu mogę zabijać. Plany.
A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor.
Sekretne
You've
przejście.
likely not exhausted the room for
Super.
clues, 47.
Co to? A ja mogę podglądać tutaj jeszcze. Fajnie. Świetnie, wszystko git. Laptop. Tak.
Zachary was shopping for New Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would
Fajne
expect from
zakupy
someone
robił.
suicidal.
Co tam jest?
Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample
Buciki.
of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its
A
authenticity.
tu coś pisze jeszcze?
I believe
Ty.
you've done a thorough search of the crime
Ale
scene,
fajne.
47.
Fajnie co zrobili, bo widać opinię.
It's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
No.
You want to check on that undertaker in charge of the funeral? I got word he's upset with Madame Carlyle. Everything's in order.
Z nią pogadać muszę. Kurczę. A ja muszę znaleźć coś i ją zabić. To tak trochę. Tylko gdzie jest to coś?
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I've prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
Okej. Ziomuś.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47?
Co mam
Motive
otworzyć?
means an opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps do you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
Menu Intel. Świetnie. A gdzie jest tym menu Intel? Question. Podejrzani. Ty możesz być podejrzany? Nie. Kto? Tam coś chyba jest. Ciekawie.
Shithole. A girl like you belongs in clubs in London. I bet you're a great dancer.
I don't like dancing.
What about restaurants then? You like food? You should come visit. I'll take you somewhere really nice. Spend a few bucks. A girl like you
Czemu ci przez...
deserves that.
I don't know.
ten?
Patrick Carlyle. Can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell.
Najlepszy kolega. 2 złote.
No
Dziękuję.
ambition. Imagine deciding to
No,
live in his
git.
You know, Father says Zachary and Alexei used to be two of a kind. He had a great... Suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that it?
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
Nah. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fern...
Kurwa, zbirardę znalazłem.
Speak.
Zabiłeś go.
I don't like him. He could have done it.
Idź dalej. No. Gdzie jest reszta? Ojej, ziomuś. Ona jest podejrzana.
You always led by example rather than by words and meaningless gestures.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'd never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. Anything else I can do to help?
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, mother, and the staff, all the company he had. If that's all, I have a speech to write.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have a strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me. Like hugs, encouragement.
Emma Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Anything else you want to know?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior. Live here. Is that all?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
Okej. O, z tym też mogę
Gregory
pogadać.
Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
You're
No, gdzie
wondering about
byłeś,
my
Gregory?
alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from my intricate intellect?
To na razie tyle. Co tutaj jest? Pudełko jakieś, świetnie. Coś tutaj jest? O! Mogę poisona rzucić, świetnie. Poison.
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore.
Ona jest
He's
podejrzana.
better off dead. Is that
Strasznie.
all?
Coś
Not very
podejrzana.
thorough, are you?
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Dobra.
Yeah, keep it real.
Tutaj jest. Coś jeszcze. O, tutaj coś jest. Wiosło. Kolejne wiosło. Aha. Nie mogę. O, wy kurde, taki głupio.
Madame Carlyle's daughter.
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Who had the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did
Co
make
to
sure
znaczy
she didn't
taki
see you
ten?
give the other one to the butler.
O, pistolet. Ej, pistolet już mam. Co nie potrzebuję. Dobra. O, ty, chcę się ciebie coś zapytać.
Can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really
No,
see
co
much of
robiłaś?
each other, my brothers and I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner.
Ty też jesteś podejrzana
I
jakoś.
think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 8:45. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Tell me about Zachary. Did
No,
he act
gadaj.
strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently... Did I just... Excuse me? I think you've dropped something.
No, fajnie, ale gadaj.
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
A tych wykluczamy, dobra. Zaraz się okaże, że kamerdyna to zrobił.
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Phil, did you find out if the vote was notarized?
No to chyba wszystkie informacje zebraliśmy. Wracamy do tego chłopa.
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room. A keychain pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing?
I should get back to...
So I...
Right,
yeah, same.
That is the door to Rebecca's room.
Might have a situation. I'll check the perimeter. If anyone's there, identify yourself.
Aha. Nie mogę iść do góry. O. Co jest? Dajcie mi iść do góry. Dziękuję.
I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
O kurde, zaś tajemnicze przejście. Fajnie, fajnie. Dobra, daj mi przejść. Nie gadaj.
Special well have a damn good reason for not being here in person. Christ. Really don't have a clue, do you? I'm talking about that weasel Arthur Edwards. Can we get back what he stole from me?
So far, it looks like we can't. All the transfers of funds and privileges I've been through have been bulletproof. He intercepted the arrangements our office worked years to put in place.
That's why Don Yates should be here. He made the arrangements. He should bloody well be the one to clean up this whole mess.
I don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
Don't kill the messenger, Alec. Please, continue your efforts, Mr. Ford.
Okej. Tutaj jak zobaczę to, co zauważę? Nic. Świetnie. Jo. Cicho, cicho, bo jeszcze on zauważy. Dzięki, że nie zauważyłeś. A ja cię A, mogę. A nie mogę. Suń dupsko. O. Chodź. No co ty robisz? Chodź mi tu. Kurde, jakiś łomny. Dwa jabłka, let's go.
This all confirms that Arthur Edwards stole everything from Madame Carlyle. Perhaps you should let her know how bad it is, 47.
O, puszka. A tutaj było coś do skamerowania. O, papiery.
Emotional damage!